Remember that feeling when you first started learning about AI?
Yeah.
It felt kind of like we were stepping into a sci-fi movie, right?
Totally.
These days, AI is making headlines left and right.
Yeah.
Especially in tech.
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere you look.
It is.
AI writing code.
Oh, yeah.
Composing music. Even diagnosing illnesses.
It's wild.
It's crazy, right?
Absolutely.
But here's the million-dollar question.
Okay.
In a world where AI seems capable of almost anything,
Yeah.
does learning to think like a coder, like mastering those algorithmic thinking skills,
Yeah.
does that still hold the same value?
I think that's something that a lot of people are wondering about.
Yeah.
And for good reason. AI is doing some really remarkable things.
I've seen it.
Like we're seeing AI solve these really complex problems.
Yeah.
Like those brain-bending challenges you see on Leak Code.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the ones...
The ones that like seasoned programmers have to grapple with.
Exactly. And AI is not just tackling them.
Right.
It's often straight up outperforming humans in these coding competitions.
Yeah, I've seen those headlines. It's crazy.
What's really impressive.
AI is like this coding prodigy.
Yeah.
Leaving us humans in the dust.
Right.
So how do we even begin to make sense of this new reality?
Well, it's interesting you should say that because just a few days ago,
Okay.
on September 30th, an article came out, and the title is, "Do We Still Need to Learn Algorithmic Thinking and Problem Solving in the Age of AI?"
Oh, wow.
So it really gets to the heart of what we're talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
It really does.
That title alone is enough to make you pause and think,
Yeah.
are we headed towards a future where knowing how to code is like as relevant as knowing how to operate a telegraph?
That's the question, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's an understandable concern.
Yeah.
But I think the thing to remember here is as amazing as AI is,
Okay.
it's not about AI replacing human ingenuity.
Okay.
Right?
Daddy. Yeah.
Algorithmic thinking, at its core,
Yeah.
it's about understanding those step-by-step processes that computers use to solve problems.
Okay.
It's about how to break down these complex tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. And that's applicable to way more than just writing code.
So it's not just about churning out lines of code.
So-
It's about like developing a mental framework for how to approach a problem in a structured and logical manner.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's really about thinking like a problem solver.
So AI might be able to generate code at like lightning speed,
Yeah, it can.
but it's like our human insight
Mm-hmm.
that determines if it's the right code.
Yes.
Is the job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just about speed.
Okay.
It's about getting it right.
So it's like having all the ingredients to bake a cake,
Okay.
but you still need the recipe
Yeah,
and the baker who knows how to use those ingredients effectively.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So AI has the ingredients,
Yeah.
but we're the ones with the recipes
Yeah.
and the baking skills.
I like that analogy a lot.
Okay.
And that's why this algorithmic thinking is so important.
Okay.
Even in the age of AI, because it gives you that foundational understanding to not just use AI tools effectively, but to understand their limitations
Okay.
and potential biases.
Gotcha.
Let's dive into 5 key reasons why this skill set is still so important, even as AI is changing so rapidly.
Okay, let's do it. I'm all yours.
So first off, algorithmic thinking is the bedrock of computer science.
Okay.
It's about understanding the fundamental building blocks,
Okay.
the logic and
Yeah.
structure behind how software works,
Okay.
how algorithms are designed, how they shape the digital world around us.
So it's about understanding the why behind the code.
Yes.
Not just the how.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, the second reason is all about critical thinking and creativity.
Okay.
And this is really where humans shine. Because AI is great at finding solutions within parameters that are predefined.
Okay.
But us humans,
Yeah.
we can ask the right questions
Okay.
in the first place.
Interesting.
We can challenge assumptions. We can reframe problems in new ways.
Okay.
And come up with innovative solutions that AI might not ever consider.
So like the difference between following a map
Okay.
versus exploring uncharted territory.
Okay.
AI is a great navigator, but humans are the explorers, the ones that chart new courses,
Yeah.
discover hidden paths.
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this leads us to the third reason,
Okay.
which honestly, I don't think gets talked about enough
Okay.
when we're talking about AI, and that's communication and collaboration.
Yeah.
Because AI might write really, really beautiful code,
Okay.
but can it explain it to a colleague who isn't a coder?
That's a good point.
Can it take into account all the different communication styles and perspectives of a team?
Right.
That's where you need human skills.
Yeah.
Like empathy, persuasion, active listening.
Yeah, for sure. So we're not just coders or problem solvers. We're like bridge builders, right?
Yeah.
We're helping to translate between what the AI is doing and what humans actually need.
That's a great way to put it. And it really highlights the fourth reason why this type of thinking is important.
Okay.
And that's AI literacy.
Okay.
Because it's one thing to be able to use AI tools, but it's another thing entirely to understand how they work.
Okay.
What their limitations are,
right.
How to look at their output critically. Because just because AI spits out a solution,
right,
it doesn't mean it's the optimal one,
right,
or even the most ethical one.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, so we can't just take it on blind faith.
Right.
We need to be able to ask the hard questions, understand where those biases can creep in.
For sure.
And make judgment calls based on all the information.
Okay, so it's about being like an informed user.
Yes.
Not just somebody that takes whatever AI says as the final word.
Exactly.
Gotcha. So we've talked about how algorithmic thinking is like the base of computer science.
Yep.
How it helps us think critically and be more creative. How we use it to communicate and collaborate better.
Right.
And how it makes us more AI literate. So what was that fifth reason?
So the fifth reason has to do with pushing the boundaries of what's possible. Like making those big discoveries.
Yeah.
Driving that innovation.
Okay.
You know, the things that shape the future.
Yeah.
And AI is really good at optimizing within what it already knows.
Right.
But humans are the ones that create those paradigm shifts.
Yeah, those aha moments.
Yeah. Like they completely change everything.
Right. Totally changing the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's that deep understanding of how things work.
Okay.
Coupled with our own ingenuity.
Right.
That creates those moments.
So it's like you need both.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. But here's my question.
Okay.
What about AI's limitations?
Okay.
Because we hear all the time about AI messing up, misinterpreting information.
Yeah.
Even creating biased results.
Absolutely.
Like, shouldn't we be talking about that?
Absolutely we should. Because AI, as great as it is, it can still make mistakes.
Okay.
And one of the biggest limitations right now, I would say, is AI's lack of true understanding.
What do you mean by true understanding?
Okay, well, think of it this way.
Okay.
You're using a navigation app.
Okay.
Right? We can do all this amazing stuff like analyze traffic and give you alternate routes, get you where you need to go really fast.
Right.
But if you were to ask it, hey, why'd you choose this route?
Okay.
What's the history of that landmark we just passed?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be able to tell you.
Right. It's just doing its job.
Exactly.
It's not really understanding.
It's not making those connections. It's working within its parameters.
So it's like having this super powered GPS, but it can't tell you the story behind the old bridge you just crossed.
Yeah. It's missing that context.
Interesting.
And that's where AI is at right now.
Okay.
It can find patterns, generate stuff based on those patterns.
Yeah.
But it's missing that why.
Right.
And that's where humans come in.
Because we can connect the dots.
That's exactly.
We can see the bigger picture.
And we can think about those cause and effect relationships.
It's like AI knows the rules of grammar.
Yeah.
But humans are the ones writing the stories.
I like that.
Bringing that creativity, the human touch.
That's a good analogy.
Okay.
And that actually leads perfectly into another one of AI's big limitations.
Okay.
And it's pretty narrow scope when it comes to problems.
Okay.
Because most AI is trained on huge data sets, right, to do a very specific thing.
Yeah.
And it can do that thing really well.
Okay.
But the second you take it out of that box, it struggles.
Okay. It's like they're specialists in a world that needs a generalist.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Like, if you think about medicine, AI can look at medical images and be unbelievably accurate.
Okay.
But to diagnose someone, you have to look at their whole history.
Yeah.
What their lifestyle's like, genetics, all these different things that AI can't really piece together.
So it's like we're still the ones connecting the dots, seeing the forest for the trees.
Exactly.
Using our intuition and our experience.
And that actually brings us to a really cool part of all this.
Okay.
Which is that AI can actually augment what we do. instead of replacing us.
Interesting.
So instead of being afraid of AI, think of it like a tool that can make you better at your job.
So like AI is the super powerful toolkit that helps us unlock our own potential.
Exactly. Like